Hey guys, welcome to the Nurse.net Academy. Whew, I'm so glad I'm finally launching this podcast because it's been holding me down for a while. Anyways, guys, if you haven't already, my name is Christy Asa, and this podcast is for everybody, particularly my nurses who really just, want to try something besides bedside nursing. So, really, I want to talk about my biggest lessons learned in business. Whew, that's a good one. So, listen, right? When you want to start something, our first instinct is to Google. And there's some days, and I still regret it up until this point, and I always tell my mentor mom, and she's like, it's okay. I still cry about it. And I was like, I wish somebody had just told me, like, Christy, like, nursing is not the thing, okay? Like, you have to think about becoming an entrepreneur and getting a mentor and getting somebody to help you. Because I remember leaving when I got my job. I was working for the state at the time. It was good pay, and I was having this void. There was this drive in me that I just felt like I had to do something. And I got on the plane. I was at the airport sitting down. When you have this drive, you just want to get something done. I was going through YouTube, just trying to find something that is going to connect me to what I was looking for. I didn't know what it was. I was just having this crazy drive in me, and I had quit my job. I was supposed to go to Texas because I had a federal job. I was at the airport, and somebody popped up on my YouTube. It's like these phones nowadays can read your mind. But somebody popped up on my YouTube, and I immediately signed up to go to Arizona for that mastermind. It was about real estate. Do you want to learn how to start real estate? And okay, maybe that's what I should be doing. But I got on the plane. I signed up for that mastermind, worked night shift, got off, got to Arizona. It was one of the best life-changing events ever. And I went on there, and everybody I met in that room was talking about their business. I looked around me like, wait, Christy, are you sure you're in the right place? Maybe. I said, this cannot be real because, coming from a place of nursing, coming from the place of working for the state where all you guys talk about is picking up extra shifts, it was different for me. It was something I didn't know people could do stuff like that. I didn't know somebody had a $6 million bill. I didn't know nothing about that. I just know I had a burning desire inside of me. I could not figure it out until when I got to that event. I wouldn't call it a mastermind, but I could not figure it out until when I got to that event. Like, these guys, we sat up together at lunch because they encourage you to sit with people you've never met before. So we sat up at the table with different professionals. They're like, what do you do? What do you do? I'm like, oh, I'm a nurse. Why are you here? I don't know. Literally, that was my response. It's like, I don't know. I'm just trying to find my way in life. I'm trying to figure out what it is I want to do. And they wished me luck. So, well, Chris, we hope you figure it out. And they all had their own stuff going on, but none of them was working for somebody. They all had their businesses. They came there to try to, gain knowledge on how to make their business grow, on how to invest more in themselves. So I'm hearing these people talking about figures, and they are just working from themselves. It's like, God, this is mind-blowing. One thing though, I did not have anybody to share this with me. It was just too much. I was confused, I was happy, I didn't know what to do. And I got off that event with this energy. I'm gonna get it. I know what I want to do. And I didn't know what mentorship was all about. I didn't know I needed somebody to help me. So I started praying to God and said, God, if you can just send me my, there's this name we call it, I can't recall what it's called, destiny helper. I said, God, you know what I want. I need somebody. I just need somebody that doesn't think I'm crazy, because my mom, my whole family, when I was living in Ohio, my mom literally called me crazy. She said she knows I'm crazy. She said, you've always been so special, You've always just been different from birth. I don't know what's wrong with you. And we got in this big argument. And I said, I'm leaving. You don't understand what I want out of life. She's like, you're being brainwashed. And, it was just a nice personal experience. But I left, guys, and I moved to Georgia. Listen, no plans, okay? I had no plans. I just left Ohio and it wasn't something for me. I wanted to do more. And called my friend and said, hey, I really want to do this in life. I don't know how to go about it. I really need help. She's like, Christy, you've been saying that if you come to Georgia, I'm going to show you somebody who will help you. I'm like, I don't know. Do you really think they understand me? Do you really think they think I'm not crazy? She's like, just come to Georgia. Just move to Georgia. She said, I will not share this information with you until you move to Georgia. I said, okay. So I signed up. I got on the plane, I signed my lease for my phone that day, and I moved to Georgia. And I called her, hey, I'm in Georgia, I need to see this person. So she's like, wait, I need to come to your apartment. I need to feel the place before I can, hook you up. I'm like, what is wrong? Hook me up. Why am I telling you guys this? I'm talking about mentorship, right? I'm getting there, so stay tuned. And I got there, and she connected me to my mentor mom. That's how I call it now, because guys, the power of mentorship is mind-blowing. You cannot negotiate that. It's absolutely not negotiable, because I was lost. I needed help. I had done so many things, try and error. I was investing, looking at real estate, looking at YouTube University. But it's like with YouTube, the way they capture you, right? They give you all these steps, and then you're like, okay, I have a question, but you don't know who to ask, because you got the information off of the internet. But the only way for you to get more from that, you have to pay somebody. You have to, invest in yourself. You have to invest in your business. So that was how I got in my mental space. Pretty much walked into her house, and she looked at me. I was going crazy. I kept talking. She was like, I'll help you. And the crazy thing was, she's from Cameroon. So we don't see that around at all. It's not normal for a Cameroonian lady to be successful, to make over 6 figures. It's not normal. It's not normal where I come from. Normally you cook and clean, you stay at home, and that's it. So when I saw her walking, then she was literally doing what I've been dreaming about, talking about, and I was like, oh God, it only took me 3 years to get here. But then I was in tears. I was like crying and said, oh my God, in my car, I was like, God, this is it. This is the crazy thing. This is it was something I wasn't doing until I started educating myself and started going to masterminds, and I understood that that was what I needed. I was lost. I understood that I needed mentorship. I needed to pay somebody. I needed to invest in somebody. And Backtrack, that was my second mentor. My first mentor I found off of YouTube. His content was so great, and I subscribed. I got on the call, paid for mentorship. Life started changing for me when I started paying for mentorship, because people can only give you so much, but for you to really get access to them like that, you have to respect your time and pay for it, because we all want stuff for free. But keep in mind, when you go to work, you expect to get paid, right? And that's how I look at it. I was also in that space of, oh my God, that's so much money. But then I realized that everybody has to get paid for what they do. You have to respect everybody else's hustle. It's not like, at least some of the people I've met, they're not bluffing. It's not like they're just bluffing, but you come into this person's space, they have all this information, and you've been looking for it, and you've been on the YouTube University, and you're still not getting results. But then you have this on the platter, so why not just pay for it? Most of us in this consumer mindset, we always think that information can just be given for free. We always think that, oh my God, well, you're so selfish with information. No, they give you the best they can. But for you to get access to more, you got to pay. And when I used to work as a nurse, I go on strike assignments and stuff, guys, I look at I log into my bank account every Friday to make sure I got paid. So imagine that person, imagine the anger you have if you don't get paid. Or let's say, God forbid, you get paid, you don't get paid correctly. So that's just what it is. One of my biggest mistakes was not investing in mentor earlier than I was supposed to. And I say this to say that do whatever you can, to invest in a mentor. You will save a lot of money. You will lose millions, and you lose it, you don't realize it until when you start doing profits and losses, you start balancing your shit out, your bank account out, and you're like, damn, I paid for all this and I still didn't get nothing. When all you would have done was just find that mentor and invest in yourself and let them show you the ropes. So I'm not saying that everybody's a mentor, really, absolutely, that's not for everybody. Coaching, mentorship is not for everybody. There's certain skills and characteristics, and there's certain attitudes and stuff that you have to look for in a mentor, okay? You have to really make sure you do your homework and you invest wisely. Some investments are not the best investment, but I always encourage you guys to always try to invest wisely. I have, there's a book I was reading about in finding the right mentor. You know, like right now my relationship with my mentor is, she will curse me out, she will yell at me, and we will literally talk about, Christy, we talked about this, did you do it? What's the plan? I need to see your financials, I need to see your bank accounts. I need to see what you have going on, because remember when you walked into my house and said you needed help? So those are the little things that I need to know what your credit score is and how you're fixing it. You know, be careful with this, be careful with that. We get into that uncomfortable conversations, not just pay me your money and I'll teach you this, but you get into that uncomfortable conversations with that person, because you're paying them to mentor, you're paying them to show you the right way to do things, or at least what they have done and they're successful at it. So you have to be careful that when they get in your space and they really want to push the needle, help you push the needle, you have to be prepared for that uncomfortable conversations. So find somebody who genuinely cares about coaching other people or about mentoring other students, you know, to get to a certain path of success, you know, to get to the right path. That's one thing. Another biggest mistake is procrastinating. Oh my God, we never have time. I'll do it tomorrow, you know, I'll do it on my day off. I'm off tomorrow. I work 3 days a week. I work 5 nights a week. Guys, you're never gonna get it done. Just, you know, if you work 7 days a week, you don't work 24 hours a day. At least I did not. So if you're working 12, let's put it this way. Let's say you're working 12-hour shifts, right? As soon as we do 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. or 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So from the time you get off, what is it that you'll be doing? You know, maybe you got to pick up your kids, maybe, but I'm sure somewhere in between, there's a 2-hour free time. You know, you can't tell me you're on the clock 24 hours a day. That's not possible. There's a 2-hour free time, and I encourage you guys to read this book, The 24-Hour Work Week. The 4-hour work week, sorry. There's some free time for you. It's just asking for 4 hours. That's all. How to structure yourself for success by investing 4 hours of your time in a week. So what you should be thinking is, when I get off work at 7 a.m. or 7:30 or 8 o'clock, what am I doing from that time to when I go to bed? And is that benefiting me in the right way? Or am I just procrastinating and saying, I'm gonna do this on my days off? Because on your days off, you probably wanna hang out with friends, you probably wanna go shopping, you probably wanna go for your doctor's appointment, you probably wanna catch up with other things. But at the end of the day, at these other things you're doing, positioning you for success, positioning you to become that coach you said you wanted to be, what are you doing to prepare yourself for that? Is it helping you to you know, go for that mastermind class you keep talking about? So that's another thing, procrastinating. We procrastinate so much, and by the time you realize it's Happy New Year. It's a new year, so it's just what it is. I used to procrastinate a lot, but I have learned so much that time is more wasted. They say procrastination is a thief of time. You lose a lot while procrastinating. Another biggest mistake about, you know, it's my mind. Your mind is really big. I was coming to record this podcast and I was reading this book, The Magic of Thinking Big. That's my second time reading it. But sometimes, you know, you let other things just cloud you, and just because you've had a lot of pitfalls, you go back to that mindset of, oh my God, maybe this is really not possible, or maybe this is not for me. It's working on your mind. When I started, I wasn't working on my mind. I was like, oh, maybe I'm just dreaming, you know, maybe, you know, I'm really being brainwashed, or maybe this is really not for me. Maybe I really need to go back to work and work for somebody. But once I started reading books and educating myself and getting in the right circle and investing in masterminds, it really helped me, because when I find myself derailing, I pick up the phone and I talk to my mentor and I say, oh my God, can you believe this happened today? Can you believe? But you're talking to somebody that has been there or somebody that is going through the same as you, and they'll be like, Chrissy, no, it's okay. It's okay to feel that way. It's part of life, okay? It's good. You're not crazy. But working on your mind and reading these books and getting that hype and realization that, it's possible for you is something I always encourage. It's something I always encourage you guys to do. So work on your mind. The magic of thinking big. I had to read that today on my way here because I'm recording this podcast, Nextpreneur Academy, and in my mind I'm like, Christy, where do you see yourself? I don't do 5 years no more. 5 years is too far. I want it now. Where do you see yourself 2 years from now? It's like, I want to create this podcast and then another thought crept in. Well, you're not really not going to make money right now. I'm like, that's fine. Because the book hyped me up. It's letting me know that I can do this podcast. I can, educate so many nurses. I can unify so many nurses with this podcast. So I'm going to sit here, I'm going to record this podcast, and I'm going to drop so many contents. Because the minute you start wanting to do something really big or something that, it's going to help a lot of people, then that negative thinking starts creeping in to scare you. And it is going to happen. I'm sure we experience this all the time. I do. This was something big for me. This was something I was planning to do last year. And I woke up a couple of weeks before the end of the year and I got me a vision board and I wrote it all down. And I said, I'm doing this regardless. Okay, I called Tommy. I said, Tommy, I need for this to be the podcast content because I've been pushing it for so long. But the fear was creeping in the car. I was listening to The Magic of Thinking Big, and the very first chapter was talking about the guy who excelled greatly and he made over $67,000 a year. There was nothing he had different. It was just that he believed his self-confidence that he could do it, and he went for it. So my mind was one of my biggest mistakes. I did not really, which I'm doing right now, but when I started, I didn't train my mind so much for success. I let fear cripple me. I let the belief of it's not possible cripple me. So whatever I teach you're trying to do, guys, go for it. Just go for it. Start out as you're starting out, but never feel discouraged. And the belief that it's oversaturated is another thing that people always think that you're trying to get in the business that is oversaturated. Do you know how many billion people are in the world? I don't know. But no one person can ever reach everybody. That's just the reality of it. And I was like, okay, maybe there's another podcast, but guess what? It's me. It's Christy's podcast. It's what I want to deliver to my clients. So I don't care if there's billions of people in the world. I will still reach the people that God has for me. There's somebody out there lacking this knowledge that I have, so I have to share it. So it's never oversaturated. Just whatever it is you're doing, just find your own unique way of doing it and just be you. We're never gonna feed, we're never gonna reach everybody at the same time, no. Another thing about that is also into real estate, and somebody said, the market for my location, Georgia, is oversaturated. I'm like, no. I get people call me every day that they want to sell their houses. Well, maybe I'm the first they reached, and that's it. And I get them under a contract, and we are good to go. It's not. We can't all serve the same community. We can't all reach the same audience at the same time. So I always encourage you guys, whatever it is you're dreaming, just go for it. Just find a way to be you while doing it, and just find something special, a little top notch. Like, I love to smile, I think that's something somebody can never take away from me. Just be you, just be free, just present as you, who you are, and just do it. We have, in Atlanta, I know they have a lot of makeup artists now. And guess what? It's just what it is, what you think it is. Where I live at, I have to go through so many makeup artists to find one. So it's really not a lot of stuff. So procrastination in market is oversaturated. It's really not. You just have to find what it is you're doing and just scale it and just find a way to present to your clients in a very unique and very appealing way. So like I said, in business, you will make a lot of mistakes. one of the ways, guys, to really make sure that at least you minimize those mistakes or those risks is investing in yourself, okay? Investing in somebody. Don't call nobody trying to waste your time, because I don't even do calls like you have to pay for my phone call. So if you're getting with somebody, some people just want to know. Well, if you want to know, just go to Instagram or YouTube. So invest in a mentor. It's not free anymore. I mean, we didn't go to school for free, so why don't you just respect somebody else's time? But it takes a certain type of mindset to understand that it's a different aspect of you trying to get somebody's attention and time. So you have to invest in yourself, guys, because you will make a lot less mistakes investing in yourself and paying for mentorship. But yeah, that is it, guys. I'll see you guys on next podcast. Also, while you're watching this podcast, just let me know what questions you might have, what topics you want me to talk about in the next podcast, and hopefully I'll be able to help you guys. See ya.